When most people think of Stoicism, they imagine a kind of emotional armor. A cold, detached approach to life that celebrates suffering, suppresses feelings, and glorifies self-denial. They picture someone who shows no pain, no joy, no softness, just a stoic statue standing tall in the storm. But this is the side of Stoicism no one talks about. It's not about becoming stone. It's about becoming deeply human, in a way that feels real, grounded, and awake. At its core, Stoicism isn't about shutting yourself off from the world. It's about learning to meet the world exactly as it is, without letting it shatter your inner peace. It's about cultivating a state of mind that stays steady not because you don't feel, but because you understand what's truly in your control. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This isn't an invitation to dismiss your emotions. It's an invitation to hold them with curiosity, rather than let them dictate your entire reality. No one talks about how Stoicism actually demands great softness. It requires you to face your fears without running. To feel grief without becoming it. To experience love without clinging to it so tightly that it suffocates. Stoicism asks you to accept that you can't control whether people love you, whether opportunities last, whether life unfolds as you hoped. It's a radical act of surrender, disguised as strength. We live in a culture that tells us to fight everything. Fix every flaw. Perfect every plan. Control every outcome. But Stoicism reminds us that true power isn't in force, it's in flexibility. It's in the ability to bend when life asks you to, without breaking. It's in knowing when to act and when to release. When to step forward and when to let go. The obstacle is the way. This line is often misunderstood as a call to aggression or endless hustle. But in truth, it's about alchemy, turning what you resist into what strengthens you. It's about meeting hardship with an open mind, not just a clenched jaw. No one talks about how Stoicism values joy. How it encourages you to appreciate simple moments fully, not because they'll last forever, but because they won't. How it asks you to celebrate the present, knowing it is the only thing you ever truly possess. We think of Stoics as emotionless warriors. But they were actually fierce protectors of their inner world. They didn't deny grief, they let it move through them without defining them. They didn't deny love, they embraced it, knowing it might one day leave. It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Most of our suffering doesn't come from what happens. It comes from the story we tell ourselves about what happens. Stoicism isn't a shield against emotion. It's a practice of questioning the narratives that magnify pain. You can feel sadness without believing you are doomed. You can feel fear without making it your identity. You can feel loss without losing yourself. This is the quiet side of Stoicism no one talks about, the deeply compassionate side. It teaches you to hold your experiences with tenderness, not harshness. To offer yourself grace in failure. To forgive your humanity instead of waging war against it. Stoicism doesn't mean you never cry. It means you don't let your tears become a story of permanent defeat. It means you let them cleanse, not define. He who angers you conquers you. This line isn't about suppressing anger, but about recognizing how easily we give away our power. When you're quick to rage, you become easy to manipulate. When you're constantly offended, your peace belongs to everyone but you. True Stoicism is about reclaiming ownership of your emotional landscape. Not by erasing emotions, but by responding instead of reacting. By pausing long enough to ask, is this worth my energy? Is this aligned with who I want to be? No one talks about how freeing this is. How much lighter life feels when you stop trying to control the uncontrollable. How liberating it is to accept that setbacks are part of the human condition, not personal curses designed to punish you. Stoicism invites you to build a life on internal stability rather than external guarantees. Because the outside world will always shift, people will disappoint, plans will unravel, outcomes will surprise you. But when your foundation is within, you remain unshaken. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle: some things are within our control, and some things are not. Modern life constantly blurs that line. We think we can curate our existence to perfection. We think we can engineer relationships, avoid discomfort, outrun uncertainty. But that illusion only deepens our anxiety. The quiet power of Stoicism lies in its simplicity. In the courage to say, I will give my best to what I can control and release the rest. It's not resignation. It's not passivity. It's radical presence. Imagine how different your days would feel if you stopped resisting reality. If you approached challenges as teachers rather than enemies. If you held each moment as a fleeting gift, rather than a test of your worth. This is what no one talks about. Stoicism isn't about becoming cold. It's about warming up to life so fully that you don't need to grasp at it. You love it without owning it. You experience it without attaching your identity to every high and low. When you understand this, you stop living like a victim of your emotions. You start living as a steward of them. You learn to witness anger without acting on it blindly. You learn to notice joy without fearing its loss. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. We try so hard to avoid friction. But friction is what refines us. It's not something to fear, but something to respect. Because through challenge, we uncover the deeper layers of who we really are. This is the side of Stoicism no one talks about, the quiet invitation to return to yourself. To choose depth over distraction. To choose presence over performance. To choose the long game of peace over the short thrill of reaction. In the end, Stoicism isn't about living without feeling. It's about feeling deeply, loving deeply, and still being able to let go when life asks you to. And maybe that's the most human thing we can ever learn.